Hello everyone, today we are going to learn and discuss about the CTF, also known as the capture the flags. We are going to cover up like the types of CTFs, its benefit, platform, and also we are going to solve a beginner level CTF. Before starting the discussion on CTFs, I want to introduce myself. My name is Abhishek Kumar Jha. I am a student of iNurture at Assam Downtown University, currently pursuing BTech CTIS 6th sem. You guys can follow me on Twitter as www.twitter.com/rootlogin. As this, I have found several bugs in government website, and in return I have got some appreciation mail from Government of India. Many of my friends ask me that why my username is like that root login. My simplest answer is that I love booting of the system to reading of the system. That means getting the root access to a machine. Now let's start the discussion on CTFs, like what actually a CTF is, what are the basic types and all. A capture the flag is a special type of cybersecurity competition whereas hackers or secretaries compete with each other to capture the flag. I have prepared a PPT on this. Let me explain. First of all, there are two types of CTFs: Jeopardy style CTFs and attack and defense type of CTFs. In Jeopardy type style CTFs, there is a couple of question or tasks in a range of categories. In attack and defense, here every team has own network or only host with vulnerable services. Your team has time of for patching or services and developing exploits usually, so it's more over the blue team versus red team. We are going to discuss the various other types of the Jeopardy CTF topics like reverse engineering. The point of reverse engineering is collecting new information and understanding of a technology through disassembling it to its best parts. The second one is binary, also known as the PWN. The objective of PWN challenges is for the player to acquire access to a target system without the system administrator permission. The target can be personal computers, servers, website, network devices, or applications. Now let's move forward. The third category is like web, where challenges includes a wide range of things, but the essence is analyzing a website to gain information. You can analyze the website source code, the hierarchy of the directories, and all the functioning ports. The fourth one is the crypto. The cryptographic challenges are mostly defined by giving the players a simple or encrypted information. The player has to decrypt it in order to acquire a flag or a clue to the next step of the competition. The last one is the stegno. Steganography is the art of hiding a secret string or text in an image file, video, or audio file in a different file of the same like. A stegno challenge usually consists of an image that contains nothing interesting at the first sight. Now let's discuss what are the benefits of CTFs. The first one is that understand vulnerabilities in depth. The second one is it helps us explore new territories and expand our skill set. The third one is that test and enrich your know-how. The fourth one is cultivate critical thinking, and the fourth one is gain invaluable practical inference, surprise yourself and others. The fifth one is break stuff in an environment that allows it, and the last one is that we can win prizes from various CTF competitions that happens worldwide online. Now from where we should start? The first one is the vuln web, also known as the vuln hub. The second one is hack this site. The third one is hack the box. The fourth one is CTF 360, and the fifth one is PWN, enable the TW. I first prepare the vuln hub. In the vuln hub contains a list of huge number of vulnerable, or you say the CTFs like this. You can just download it and run it in VMware. Today we are going to solve a CTF which is an entry-level CTF named SQLite to Shell. I had downloaded it from the vuln hub and it is running it in my virtual machine. This one, SQL injection to Shell. Here we can see the difficulty level is intermediate, and what we have to do SQL injection exploitation using the time-based exploitation, getting the code execution using a PHP web shell. Now let's move forward. In this case, the SQL to Shell machine is my target machine, or we can say the victim machine, which I will try to compromise from my attacker's machine. Here I am using Kali Linux. As you can see, here I am using Kali Linux. You can use all other operating systems also. I prefer Kali Linux or Parrot operating system, since both the operating system having pre-installed various tools which will help us on penetration testing. For performing any attack, there is a basic path you must have to follow, that is information gathering, scanning, exploitation, post-exploitation, or clearing tracks or reporting. Here we'll start by doing the information gathering about the attack. Hence we already know about the target is that it is vulnerable to SQL injection attack, but when we are going in a CTF competition we don't have any idea about the target, like which vulnerabilities are there or what services are running on that machine. So here also we'll start from very basic. First we will find out the IP address of the target. To find out the IP address of the target, I will going to use the command ARP. scan -l. Here you can see my IP address is this one, and the target machine IP address is this one. Here I am going to copy it. Now let's move forward. Now we'll check that the target is live or not by using a ping command. Even from ping command we can identify the OS like this, ping and the IP address. Here you can see that we are getting the reply back that it is working and live. Now let's move. Now we'll enumerate the information about the target using Nmap. I hope everyone is aware of the Nmap. Nmap is a very powerful tool which is pre-installing Kali and other OS like Parrot OS. Nmap helps us in identifying ports, running services, version of services, OS detection, firewall detection, and etc. Now let's check the target using Nmap. You can simply use the Nmap. This is a very basic way to finding the what ports are generally running, and it is fast. Here we can see, interestingly, there is a port number 80 is open. As we know, we can see there is a port number 80 is open. That means it is a web server. Now let's try to open the IP in a web browser, because the port number 80 means it is simply running a web server. Now just execute this on our browser. Simply hit enter. Oh, looks cool, huh? Now we'll use DIRB or directory buster to find out the directories available or accessible on the target server. And we can expand it. Okay. The basic command is DIRB. So now we are going to use HTTP. It will enumerate the directories available on the web server. Now let's check the website. Let's check from the home page. Okay, here we can see there is a parameter. Okay, to check the parameter is vulnerable or not, we will simply add a single quote at the end of the URL. Here we can see that it is showing a MySQL error, like you have an error in SQL syntax. We all know that SQL injection is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with the queries that an application makes to its database. Now in the above way we can enumerate the vulnerability. We can manually perform the attack, but now we are going to use SQL map tool. For beginners, I prefer not use automated tools. It will not going to help you in exploring your knowledge. First understand the mechanism, after that start using the automated tools. SQL map is very easy to use, which will help us in exploitation. Now let's see the SQL map tool. SQL map -hyphen URL, and I'll just put the ID. Copy this. Now we will enumerate the database name. Here we can see that there is two databases. The one is information schema and the second is photo block. Okay, now enumerate what are the tables inside the particular database. To enumerate the name of the table, we'll simply like this, use this command like photo block -hyphen tables. This will enumerate all the tables. Here we can see there are two tables, pictures and users. Now we are going to dump the whole table users using this command. Here we can see there is a table user contains like a photo block which has users and password which is stored in MD5 message. Now let's brute force it. As you can see, we got an login ID and a password. The login name is admin and the password is password. Let's try to log in with this. Let's copy this. Now where is admin? Just log in with login ID and password that we have got. Wow, cool that we can see that we are able to log in with that. Now move forward to the post exploitation, where we will try to upload a web cell to compromise the full machine. Here we can see there is an admin panel. In an admin panel we can upload a picture. Now from there we will try to upload our cell. Just we'll click on the add new picture. We can suppose we are giving name as a hello cell. We'll browse our cell. I have one cell file, that is web server file. I'm just try to upload it. That is a PHP file. Okay, I'm just adding it. There we can see there is an error like no PHP. Here we can see there is a simple extension check that we cannot upload PHP files. Now we will try to bypass that. We'll simply modify the extension as the PHP. Suppose we have extension like this. We have a cell. Let's rename it like PHP, just we are modifying simply. Okay, just rename it like that. Now try to upload this. Here we can apply this title hello, and browse the extension file open. Now just add, wow, we can add the hello. Let's check it that it is working or not, but it is not working because it is not executing on the server. Now wow, it is uploaded, but we don't able to run it. Since we know that the web server has directory listing enabled, we can go to admin/upload. Suppose there is this one, so file called admin/this one, this one. Here you can see there is the file in cell1.php. Just click on it. Yeah, it's working. Now execute some commands like first one is ls. These are the files that are available during the ls command. Uname space -a. So we got the machine info. Now let's see some files, the critical files now. In this commands like cat /etc/ password. Here you can see. We can even explore more in post-supervision phase and above, where we will try to solve the CTFs. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any query regarding this, you can message me on Twitter. Thank you. Stay safe.